Hey, I'm Annette Pasternak, the Stop Skin Picking Coach, and today we're going to do a little quiz on dermatillomania, also known as skin picking disorder, and just see how much do you know. So this will just be a little true false. Number one, dermatillomania is a form of self-harm. The answer is false. It is not self-harm. Self-harm is the intention to hurt oneself, okay? Nobody with skin picking disorder intends to do any harm. We think like, oh, I'll just be able to do a little, not hurt myself here, right? So it's never the intention. The intention is, in fact, to self soothe, to feel better somehow as an escape. There's a lot of things we're going for, but it's never pain. So, despite the fact that we might ultimately be harming, obviously, our own best interests by doing it, we truly don't mean to, and it is not the same as self harm. True or false? Quiz question two. Skin picking is a form of OCD. The answer is false. Again, false. So a lot of people think this because when skin picking disorder was first classified as its own thing, its own disorder in the DSM-5 back in, I believe, 2013, they moved OCD out from the anxiety disorders and created a category called obsessive compulsive and related disorders, under which we find OCD, and we also find skin picking disorder and trichotillomania, hair pulling. Now, how related is it? That remains to be seen. The latest research is just showing that there are different forms, there are different triggers for different people. And actually, the sorts of thoughts and compulsions are related in OCD. You only have a minority of people who are picking that are actually having those kind of thoughts. So is skin picking a form of OCD? No. So false again. Question three, skin picking is caused by anxiety. True or false? It's false again. It's not caused by anxiety, even though a lot of people think it is. A lot of therapists, if they do not know anything about skin picking, they really think the way to treat it is anxiety, because most people seem to have anxiety that have skin picking disorder. Although the latest, biggest research on it is showing like only like just north of 20% of people with skin picking disorder have also been diagnosed with anxiety disorder. But I've also seen like 80% or something. And that tracks with most of my clients saying they have a lot of anxiety. So, yes, there's a lot of overlap. Did the anxiety precede the skin picking? No, not necessarily. And I think there's a good case to be made for the opposite, because anytime you pick, you kind of like reduce in that moment any anxiety that's there. You kind of tamp it down a little bit, calm down a little bit, and then once you stop picking in the absence, the anxiety builds up greater. So the anxiety seems to be caused more by the skin picking than the other way around. And that I know from my own as well as hundreds of clients' experiences. When you learn to reduce your picking, the anxiety just goes way down. So again, the answer is false. True or false, number four, it's just a bad habit. The answer is false. Again, it can be considered a habit, but it's much more complex than a simple habit. There are other factors that go into this. It's certainly more complex, for example, than my husband's habit of leaving the lights on every time he leaves a room. Clearly, there's so much involved in this, and there almost always are distinct mental patterns associated with this habit, if you will, this disorder. It's more than a bad habit. It seems more like a behavioral addiction, because there are almost always addictive thinking patterns that go along with this. For example, just this one, right? I'll just get this one spot, do this one bit. That trap, that, I mean, I say it's a trap because is it ever just this one? No, this is just the way that your brain tricks itself. This is the disorder, right? And this is a very common addictive thinking pattern, right? So somebody addicted to alcohol would be like, oh, I'll just have one drink. That's how they trick themselves, right? Or, if you're addicted to sugar, or, overeating, it's like, oh, just the one cookie, right? So that's the first addictive thinking trap. You open the door, your own brain is telling yourself to do this behavior. You just can't do a little bit. It's well managed. You're able to just do one, right? But then what happens when you step through the door is the other addictive thinking, the all or nothing thinking. That's like, I've already started. I can't stop now. Might as well keep going. You just can't stop at that point. You're like discouraged, like, oh, I blew it. Got to get every bump. I got to finish this part of my body, whatever it is. And it just goes on and on. So, for these reasons, to me, it seems like skin picking really belongs in the addictive disorders category in the lower left there, to which there's a bunch of substances and gambling, and they don't have anything else. True, false. Question number 5. It's your fault that you have this disorder. Okay, I hope that nobody says yes, but I know there's like deep inside such guilt for doing it, right? But this is not your fault. You obviously did not mean to get into this situation. There are so many things that contribute to this: genetics, your environment, whatever situation you're in. It does not make sense to think it's your fault. So, again, what do we have? Another false? And next question. Actually, the last question. True, false. You can get better from this. This answer is true. Yes. This answer is true. Better means better. Better, I think, means much better. Does better mean like never touching your skin again, never peeking in even the slightest bit? I don't think so. That's more that all or nothing thinking. That's a trap. If that's how you're thinking about this, that you'll only be better if you're like perfectly abstinent from picking, good luck with that, my friend. But if better means so much better and gradually better, maybe, that this won't affect you anymore. This is affecting your life. That's why you're watching this video, right? You really want to get better. You really need to get better. And I have total faith that you can get better. Okay. I've seen hundreds of women get better, and some men too. So you totally can get better. This is what I do. I help people, after I got better, I just like made this my life's work. I help people just like you get better with some coaching. So go to my website, stopskinpickingcoach.com. I always work with clients individually. Also, periodically, or instead of individually, periodically, I also work with clients in a group situation. And we do have a group coming up in September, and there are still some spots available as of when I'm making the video. So go to stopskinpickingcoach.com. I'll link here, probably the actual page of the group coaching. And yeah, let's help you get better because you deserve it. Okay. None of this is your fault. You're not guilty for anything with this. First thing you can do is to stop telling yourself anything negative about this. Put yourself to the friend test. Am I being a good friend to myself? And if you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you'll never stop this behavior. I mean, think about telling a friend these things. You're not good enough. You'll never stop this. Like, how awful is that? So why are you doing it to yourself? If you have any thoughts on any items of the quiz, please leave a comment. If you just want to share anything, leave a comment. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not. I will be doing more videos. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.